In this video, I'm going to be restoring this absolutely lovely 1930s industrial machinist chair. Hello, welcome back to another video and a bit of a change of scene. Now, probably about a year or so ago, I used to have to film all my repairs in here in the garage. You just never really saw it. It was freezing cold, and that's why I built the studio that you now see today. But for this restoration, I'm going to be working on this really lovely 1930s chair that you see here, this seat. Now, it just needs some TLC, and because I'm going to be kind of getting rid of rust and that kind of stuff, I'm doing it back here in the garage. Now, a little bit of information on this one. We've got a couple of brand names on it. On the back here, we've got Leabank, so you can see here, and that's quite a well-known seat manufacturer. But also down here at the bottom of this mechanism, we've got Evertaut Seating Limited, Darwin, England, which is in Lancashire. Now, I don't think this is a Frankenstein chair in terms of this being matched with the base, because the aesthetics all seem to go together. So I think it's maybe that this is kind of who the brand of the chair, and then the mechanism was maybe someone different. Now, what we've got is the we've got our seat back here, which just essentially rests on it rocks on like two metal hooks that go into the back. Just in there, just, you know, to give you a little bit of comfort. There's some bolts and things like that. Then in terms of the seat back, we've got this rotating bolt again, just to move that. And then for the height adjustment, it's essentially just a screw, so as you move this around, the seat goes higher and lower and everything else is fixed. So what I want to do with this is kind of strip it down, give it a good clean, so I'm talking like hot soapy water, that kind of stuff. Get rid of, like, brush off all the rust. Probably going to start with like a wire brush, and then if I need anything more serious, I'll start getting out like the attachments for the drill to get rid of it, like some of the more pitting. But I don't want to be painting this. I don't want to like paint it back to green or anything like that, or back to silver. I just want to get rid of the surface rust, maybe give it a polish with that museum wax. And then actually the leather's in fairly good nick. It's got a lovely patina to it, and there's only very mild damage just there. So for that, again, I'll give it a very gentle clean, and then what I'll do is I'll kind of just like use a leather polish on it. But I just want to bring it all back to life, and then I'll show you the final results when I'm all done. So at this point, I've just unscrewed, look at how big this screw is. I've just unscrewed this off here, and now I'm just removing the bolts that are holding the seat onto the frame. There only appears to be 5 in total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what we can see by doing that is this is actually a wooden base with this leather just tacked on with just little nails all the way around. It's really lovely. And what I'm going to do later on is I'm going to show you how this mechanism works for kind of the back and everything else, because this simplistic design is just absolutely genius. But yeah, I'm just going to get this off. The top bit looks a little trickier because of the way it's kind of riveted on. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get the back off, which is annoying, but at least I can get the seat off for cleaning, and I've taken the base off as well, so it just makes everything just a little bit easier to work with. And there we go, moment of truth. There, that's the seat just coming straight off. It's just going to, you know, just protect that wood when I'm giving everything a wash, and allow me to clean all this a bit more effectively as well. So I've spent a little bit of time just having a look at removing this. Now, there is an option, because essentially what you have is a bar that runs kind of down and along, and then the back then has 3 screws to hold it in place with nuts on the inside. And in theory, I could get in there and remove those nuts, but taking them off would be a lot easier than trying to get them back on, because you don't really have you don't have the clearance to get your fingers to put them on, so you'd kind of have the nuts on the end of here. You'd be trying to get it on, and I just don't think it's worth the effort. So at this stage, I'm going to fill up a bucket with some hot soapy water and do the initial clean just to get rid of the muck, and then potentially we'll go a little bit deeper after that. So just out giving it a scrub now, and we're just talking like, I'm just starting off with like this, like a soft bristle brush. Next, after that, I'll probably go on to something like this, just a harder plastic brush. And then later on, if I really need to, one of these, like a metal bristle brush, really to get the rust off. But I'm going to start off with this at the minute, and already some of the kind of surface stuff's coming off. You can see here, yeah, it's like, you know, kind of that brown foam as the surface rust's coming away. Annoyingly, I'm starting to lose the light. I've got a light on here just for filming. Now, having used the softer brushes, it's taken that surface stuff away, but there was still that deep kind of rust. And you can see just by using the metal brush, just like on there, you can see, look at this patch here, how the silver is coming out. Now, it's a real toss-up between like getting rid of the rust and it being silver and removing the green. So I'm just going to very lightly, like look here, just very lightly with the metal brush, and hopefully that'll just take away the brown, but leave our paint beneath like that. And I'm just going to go nice and easy all the way around. Okay, we're back inside now. I've lost the light even with my floodlight, so I'm only going to be able to get this part done today, and that part will have to be done tomorrow. And the bucket I had was absolutely full of brown water. There was so much of that heavy rust. Now, if it's light rust, you're just going to tackle that. I really wanted to get rid of just all that thickness. And unsurprisingly, what you can see is wherever, get light on, wherever your feet would naturally rest on here, that's where like all the paint's gone, and then the rust was then predominantly all the way around here, and it's almost like a two-tier. See how like that's all clear and yet there's green paint on the bottom. Same for these parts here where it curves. Obviously it's worn away, it's been in somewhere wet, and then the rust got at that section there. So I've, with this, it's always just knowing when's best to stop with like refurbishment, and I think that's a good initial stage, because what I'm going to do now is get rid of the remainder of these labels that are on here, and then I'm going to use some rust remover and some 4O like wire wool, and that will just blend out any of the scratches that have just come from that stiffer metal brush that I used, but also the effect of kind of blending it more neatly into where the paint is. So I'm going to work on that now, and hopefully that should then just get it to exactly where I want it to be. Okay, that's that stage done using the steel wool and kind of a penetrating fluid, and it's coming up really nicely now. You can handle it without all the brown coming off on you. It's all blending in really well as well, so I'm happy with that. And what I'll do at the final stages, as I mentioned, is with the paint, just to kind of bring it back to life a little bit, I'll just use a wax when it's all finished, and it'll just give it that tiny bit of shine. The next thing, and probably the final thing to do this evening on this section, is just to remove this light pitting that's in the silver, and for that I'll be using a different approach. I'll probably use some Autosol and a cloth, because I find it's a little bit better on that kind of stuff. So I'm going to give that a little polish up now. It won't make it perfect, but it is just going to give it another lease of life. And I'm just wondering, I don't think it would be overkill. I might just use a tiny bit of Autosol on this frame, and rather than kind of ignore the silvering where the paint's gone, almost kind of accentuate it a little bit, give it that little bit of like shine through, might actually be a good thing for it. So I'll probably just run a very small amount and polish it all up. And there we go. I'm really happy with that decision. It's just given it that kind of like slight slipperiness of like clean metal. Yeah, that is really nice. It's just like, it's just also got rid of those like final little bits of dirt. It's just, just brought the dull metal, like the bit without the paint, back to life, just with a bit of shine, a bit of pride. There, look at that. That's going to look really good. So that's everything done today. Tomorrow it'll be the second half, and also of course bringing the leather back to life, and then we'll be lubricating all the parts and putting it back together. So stay tuned for the second day. Okay, so we're back a couple of days later. I'll now get on with doing the same thing here, just giving this a nice soapy scrub down, and then I'll bring it back inside and see what I'm going to do with the metal parts. Okay, welcome back. I've just been doing the scrubbing outside, dried it off, used the penetrating fluid, the steel wool again, and the polish. This actually, it didn't come up as well with the when I was scrubbing it down outside, but it responded really well to the rust remover. So this is the state of it right now. You can see this has come up nicely. I've cleaned all the rust out of that mechanism, which I'm going to talk about in a minute, and just cleaned everything up. Now this seems to have had like a matte finish over the top. It wasn't kind of bare metal, so I've cleaned it up and I have polished it, but it's not going to go shiny. But even so, it still looks much better than it did before. So moving on to the mechanism that I mentioned before, it's just very simple, but ingenious at the same time. There's essentially 3 sets of fingers, so very thin pieces of metal all together like this, and you have this single kind of screw here on the side, and all you're essentially doing is moving the seat into whatever position you want by moving the fingers, and then you're just tightening it. And because there are so many of them, that combined friction then just holds everything in place. So you can see it's vertical now. You can choose kind of all the angles that you want. You just tighten that up, and then that's then holding everything in place between those 3. And yeah, that's basically how it works. I just really like that. So now that's all done, that's the metal parts done, time to turn my attention to this. Now, I could have got water on it, but leather and water usually want to avoid, especially a lot of water. So what I'm going to start by doing is just getting some very gentle like baby wipes, wet wipes, unfragranced wet wipes. I'm just going to go over with that, and then I've got some leather cloths. I'll go over with the leather cloths after that. But part of me really likes, and I mentioned it before, the patina in here. So that's just dirt inside the leather cracks. But I don't know, something about that I think looks really nice. And if all that vanished, I think it might detract. So it is a tricky one because I do want it to look clean. So I am going to go for the wipes and let's see what happens. So yeah, we're not losing that patina, which is good. And we are picking up a small amount of dirt. More dust, I would say, than anything else on there. That's all you really want. I'm getting a lot more off the seat, the back of the seat back, because this was really dark. So there's a lot more of that surface muck in there. Okay, onto the leather clean and shine wipes. Packet's been a little bit ripped, so they're not as wet as they would normally be, which is a shame. But yeah, there's just enough life in them. Okay, with that done, the final thing to do is just clean up the nuts over there, and then I'm going to get some 3-in-1 oil and oil all of the moving parts. Okay, that's done. Time for the seat to go back on, and then the last thing I'll lubricate is that large screw before I put it back down. Now you may have noticed during the rebuild or just then that there is actually a break in the metalwork here. It only affects this bolt here, and actually because the general structure of the seat is unaffected, I'm going to leave it because that would probably need welding to correct. So it's just something that would be nice to do, but it's okay without. Okay, we've reached the end of the restoration and I'm really pleased with the result. I can't wait to show you. So here we go. Here is our finished restored chair, and I'll bring it over to you. Look at this now. The leather has just had a bit of a clean. All that rust, surface rust has gone. It's all been polished. It's had metal polish. It's had wax. As we see here at the front, we can see all the sticker and everything. Look at the base there, all that rust gone. Everything is nice and oiled. Here it is from the back. I mean, look at that. It looks absolutely fantastic. And what I'll do, because I know me kind of carrying the chair around isn't the best, I'll grab the camera, I'll give you some shots, and then we'll come back just for a final summary. So as I was saying, here we go. You've got more of a close up now. We can work our way up. See how all that pitting's really gone now. You've got just that ever so slight surface wear, but because I've now just shined up the metal, rather than detract from the fact there's no paint, it actually just kind of brings it to life a little bit. We've got our Evertaut label there. We've got the metal there polished up, just a little bit of pitting left, but nothing too bad. Things like the screw you can see glistening. They've been it's been oiled, that big screw, and as we come up here, the leather, just a bit of that surface dirt has been lifted out, but we still have that kind of patina in the cracks, which is nice. And again, up there, all of this again polished just to bring it to life a little bit. As we come around here, we've got that Leabank there. I mean, look at that, looks absolutely superb. And again, coming down to this mechanism, all been cleaned up and again lubricated so that it all works nicely. Just absolutely lovely item. I'm so pleased to have worked on this. So now you've seen it, what do you think? Let me know in the comments. Personally, I think it's absolutely fantastic. The marriage of those two different manufacturers, that wear, that patina, the leather, the metal, you know, that 1930s industrial look, I think is just timeless, and it really deserves to be given another lease of life. So I'm super happy with it. If you did like the video, feel free to like it as well, because it helps share it with other people who like this kind of content. There'll be some more videos coming. In the meantime, you might like that one up there or the playlist here. But until then, all the best, take care and see you.